Joining us now is Kendall Nagy of the Meridian Anti-Drug Coalition. Kendall, can you begin by sharing some of the work the Anti-Drug Coalition does?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So the coalition is combined efforts of our community partners, other businesses that focus on prevention, and then community members that are passionate about prevention. Maybe they've been impacted by a loved one that struggled with some mental health or addiction. And so we have a variety of programs built on those community partnerships. One is the upcoming prescription take back. That's April 26th in partnership with Central District Health and Blue Cross of Idaho. And you can drive through and safely and conveniently drop off your medications that you no longer need in your home. And that helps reduce the risk of abuse or diversion of those medications. And that's just one simple example of a strategy that we can do to help with prevention.
And talk to us about the importance of Prescription Drug Take Back Day.
So, like I said, it's an easy, simple, yearly or biannual task that each individual household can do to help reduce the risk of substance abuse, and we try to make that super convenient. We also have permanent drop-off locations located at both of the Meridian police departments, and so while some people incorporate it into their spring cleaning and make it a habit at their household, there are other places where we can also offer that service, and it's a simple step that people can take to reduce that.
So substance abuse, any age can be affected by it. Specifically as it pertains to youth, how prevalent is substance abuse here in Meridian?
I get that question a lot, and it's relative, and we have to look at the exact population. We look at different types of drugs, and then we can talk about how prevalent it is. We see through the data that we look at and examine that vaping is the most prevalent issue facing youth. And that includes not only nicotine, but also marijuana in those vaping devices. So that's a big one that we tackle, and we use evidence-based programming to help try to reduce that. I think the most important thing for families to remember is that each of us is going to have to navigate choices around substance use in our lives, whether that's prescription medications, parents dosing something for a child when they have a cold, and so responsible use of medicines, and then all the way through to, unfortunately now with fentanyl, there could be a one-time recreational use, and it could be fatal. And so it's really serious to take a good look at our habits and our choices, and then what we're teaching our children.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And can you share any misconceptions that people may have about substance abuse in youth?
Yeah. I think the main thing is we do a lot of focus on what the most abused drugs are, what the biggest problems are, and I always like to kind of flip that to the positive side and say the majority of youth are not using drugs, but then going back to we all need to figure out how to navigate those choices safely, and what are parents and adults doing to mentor those choices? What kind of habits do we have? Are we helping support and grow habits in our children that are going to set them up for success? Because eventually they'll be 21 and they'll be able to make that choice of whether they decide to use tobacco or alcohol. And, we all get sick at some point in our lives, and we have to navigate choices around medications, over the counter, or prescription. And so really it comes down to choice and navigating that and setting a good example.
Absolutely. And can you share some of these resources that we have out on the table?
Yeah. So all of our resources that we recommend, whether it's a training, we attend it and go through it. If it's a book, we read the book. The webinars, we review. And so we have a flyer for our upcoming prescription take back. Another great event we have coming up in the family with our partners at West Ada School District and Central District Health is a family night out. It's Taco Tuesday, so it's TALK.
Okay.
I like that
see
play
what
on
you
words.
did there.
Yes. And that's April 22nd, and it's going to be a family night where they serve dinner, tacos, obviously, and they'll be showing a quick documentary that's less than an hour, and they'll have resources from the community to help parents have those conversations and set those intentions with prevention in their household. And then this in the middle here is a prevention packet. It's our most widely requested resource that we offer, and there's a variety of things in there to help parents customize what that conversation is going to look like for them at home. I know everybody has different choices and different routes to get that information out and build those skills, and so we have a variety of topics in there, and you can find the booklet that we feature in that packet on our website.
Okay.
And then we have a book here that talks about Tell Your Children the Truth about marijuana, mental illness, and violence. And this is an interesting, the author is, he was a reporter at the national level, and his wife worked in medicine. And she was seeing a correlation between youth and violence and psychosis and an increase in marijuana use. And they started to have conversations at home about that, and they kind of melded their skill sets. And with the input and the things that she was seeing in medicine, he started to look into it more and look into the data. And so this book is a compilation of those efforts, and I think it's really telling of what we're learning about marijuana and how policy has changed across the country and the impact it's having.
This is really
Absolutely.
important, really important policy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Kendall.